Well, hello. My name is Nate Murphy, and I am a math teacher, and I've been teaching math for 20 years. And my own experience in math was never an easy subject for me. It wasn't until I was in high school that I had a teacher that really took me under his wing, and all of a sudden, what seemed so complicated and undoable before, all of a sudden the light bulb came on, and something that was really difficult before was made a lot easier. And so that's how I got to where I'm at today. And I tell that story to students because I want them to know that I know what it feels like to struggle. And so maybe you're a student watching this, maybe you're a parent watching this with your student, but I want you to know I know what it feels like when math gets difficult. And I'm hoping that these videos will help you navigate through some of those difficult times, through some of those maybe difficult topics that we'll be covering. This is algebra. Algebra can be a wonderful experience. It's one of my favorite subjects to teach. I've been teaching math for 20 years, and in those 20 years, I've always taught algebra. And so I know a lot of, and some of my experience with teaching, just to let you know, I've worked with in an alternative school for at-risk students, for students that struggle in a normal classroom setting, and I've taught in very high-end school districts with students that do really well at school. So I've taught the whole spectrum. And over those years, I've developed my own little tricks, my own little ways of maybe teaching something that might help you or your student understand this a little better. And that's my goal. I want this to be an excellent experience. I want this course to be a lot of fun and enjoyable. And maybe no matter where you're at right now with math, maybe you love math and math is your favorite subject. Great. I hope that it'll continue to stay that way. Or maybe right now you're like, oh, math, this is like the least favorite part of my day. If that's where you're at right now, I hope that by the end of this course, you'll find a little bit more enjoyment in math. Now, what are you going to need in this class? A couple things. One is you're going to need a notebook. This is not just a sit back, relax, watch a video course. In order to be successful in math, you need to learn how to take good notes. And one of my goals is, as we're going through these videos, is to teach you how to take notes. And that will be telling you at different points what to write down. It'll be telling you even to pause the video. Okay, you don't want to just sit back and not do anything. You need to be actively engaged in the lesson. So that means copying down the stuff that's on the screen. That's going to mean maybe even highlighting stuff, putting question marks next to things that you're not quite sure of, to talk to your parent about, or even to message me on my website. So you'll want something to take notes in. Now that could be a notebook, just a regular spiral-bound notebook. It could be, for my own children, I've recommended that they use a notebook that's graph paper notebook, because there's going to be a whole 3 weeks or 2 weeks of lessons that's going to be all with graphing. And if you have graph paper, it's going to make that a lot easier than just trying to draw the graphs in your notebook. It's going to be easier to be more accurate, more precise, which is going to be really important. So whether or not you use it all the time, maybe you just use it just for graphing, that's fine. But that's something that I would recommend getting. The other tool that's up to you and your parents is a calculator. My own personal opinion of algebra is I want students to understand the algebra concepts. You've had a lot of practice with multiplying, dividing, working with fractions, working with all sorts of different kinds of numbers. Obviously, it makes it a lot easier in algebra if you have good number skills. That's why you've spent so much time building up to this course. But if you've struggled with that, or if there's parts of it that is tricky for you, I'm okay with the use of a calculator. But again, that's for you as a parent or you as a student to talk to your parents with and about. The other thing too is, like I said, pause the video. That's the beauty. If you're in a classroom, you don't get to tell the teacher, can you just stop for a second? You don't have that opportunity. You have that here. Now for most of you guys, if you just hit the space bar on your keyboard, it'll instantly pause the video. And you can hit the space bar again to hit play. So that's a really easy tool, really easy trick, because sometimes it can be kind of a pain to try to figure out how to stop the video. Just hit the space bar. Go back. Review a question. Okay, if I'm going through an example and you didn't quite get it the first time, go back and watch it again. Maybe I'll say something a second time, or then it'll click. But those are also things. This is obviously, taking a video class is different from a normal traditional classroom. And I hope that it's going to be a positive experience. So utilize the tools that are on my website. So on my website, there's even a spot for you to ask questions, like a little bulletin board. So post questions on there, because if you post those questions, then I can link to that, and I can even share videos with you. Okay, so this is something new for me, and I hope that it's something that'll be a fun experience for you. So good luck as you navigate this course, and let's go ahead and get started with that first video, why don't we?